Well, the seals have been broken, and the devils, they're right fucking here, yo! Yeah! All right, sorry.
Hooray!
I love this energy.
Hi. Hello. Welcome to another week of Innistrad's Irregulars, our D&D 5e foray into the gothic horror world of Innistrad, where our intrepid heroes do their best, but inevitably everything is bleak and all will perish. Yeah. So,
It's okay, we'll go to Hot Topic later. It's gonna be okay. We'll get Dippin' Dots.
just a quick. We are here for episode 5. Last week was What You Sow, and this week is The Reaping. There is surely some sort of link, but what could it be? We will find out after this.
Grant would see what we had available and would seek to fashion proper bindings for our new traveling companion.
I'm confident that that you have rope. As to whether you have anything other than that, I don't know. But you have a lot of rope.
Let's see here. I need an hour to properly make another set of tools. I can basically, if I take an hour, I can turn my Tinkers and my Thieves' Tools set into any other set as part of being an artificer. So if I need to come up with a jailer's set, I could.
Okay, well, so why don't we play with that a little bit? Let's go ahead and call that. Is there a skill roll associated with that?
Nope, it's a class feature that just lets me make it happen.
Okay.
It takes
So,
an hour,
how
though.
about this?
That's the thing. It's time investment.
I'll let you do it with no time investment at disadvantage to see if you can just make it happen.
How is your under pressure? That or we could question him while you work on that.
The guy's a waif and I'm a hugger. Do we just want to, I can just sit there and just...
I'm not...
I don't like his hands being free.
Yeah, I'm not terribly worried about him throwing down with you physically. There are other concerns here.
We just want to keep
I'll
his
just
hands
tie his
moving.
wrists and then I won't leave his side. Will that
You
do
could
for the
just
time
gag
being,
him.
at least?
If you want to ask me questions?
Bind him as best you can, then, and then I'll make sure he's properly bound while we rest. Well enough?
Works for me.
Fine.
Edmund does not resist as you tie him up. He looks a little sad, but it's hard to tell how much more sad he might look right now, since he always looks kind of sad. just to remind you again, Edmund is like an Edwardian character who has stumbled into your gothic horror novel. He wears a long leather coat that is black and oily, and his hair is long, scraggly. He is exceedingly pale. He has a very large, angled nose, and his limbs are emaciated. He either never eats or never sleeps, or likely both. The circles under his eyes tell the tale of someone who certainly never feels rested, and the way his eyes themselves keep darting around the room suggests that he is used to looking over his shoulder. This is a man who does not know peace or calm, but
Just why? Oh,
but is generally amiable when you constrain him.
which is why, like, as this poor man goes from Charlie Brown to Droopy Dog, I do my best to apologize in my typical paladinly fashion of like, I'm sorry, but it's like the regs when I tie this poor guy up.
And he responds, knowingly. He
Yeah.
looks at you and he says, "Oh, yes, I would expect this. I would, I think, do the same in your position."
It's less about not trusting you and more about not trusting demons, really.
Of course, they are not to be trusted.
No, I don't
Oh,
trust him either.
You missed a bit
thank you,
there. You
Grant.
should probably get my wrist a little tighter with that knot. If you loop it up and under and then through. Yes, there we go. Yes.
I'm somehow more concerned by the comfort in the binding. Had he been a little more nervous about it, maybe I would have felt better. But feeling so confident, even though, is a strange agitation to me.
I don't know. Just means he understands the deal we got for him.
Well, did it require? We all have ways of dealing with squirreliness.
All
have a
right,
joke
all
of
in
life,
favor of
then.
no longer being in a sewer?
I would raise my hand, but I'm afraid, well, you know.
Concentrate
Alright,
on being
let's back-
harmless.
Let's pack it up, people, and head back to the surface.
Grant goes and gets his pack.
Sure.
Ties everything down.
Right, he literally packs it up. Fuck, I didn't even think about
Yeah,
that.
he does.
I literally have to pack
Damn
up my
it.
shit.
You literally have
Pack
to
it up.
pack it up.
Pack it in. Let Grant begin.
I've got one of those,
Grant
like,
can't win. Battle him. That's a sin.
I don't know if you've ever seen, when it's all packed up, it kind of looks like one of those traveling chests that pilgrims used to wear on their backs.
Oh my god.
It's wood. It's mostly wood. It's a frame. It needs to carry his turret, and then
Yeah.
it's got drawers and shit on it. So it's almost like he's carrying an
Baba Yaga
armoire on his
house?
back.
Okay, not a Baba Yaga house.
Not a Baba Yaga.
And armoire.
I wouldn't say that. No.
I
Thank
would.
you. Thank you. Okay, so good for scene transition now then, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you make your way back through the sewers, first back through the steam pipe junction room that you found yourselves in, the remains of the shambling mound and the spawns of forgotten gods lying still on the ground in various phases of puddle or ash, as befits their method of dispatch. Back to the sewer itself, that is much ickier, but somehow comforting in its familiarity. You climb eventually out of the drain pipe that the child had fallen down, and it is now solidly nighttime. the sun having gone down at least an hour ago, it would seem. The people of the town are not readily apparent. Like, you can't really see anybody. They're all in their homes. This seems to be a strong bedroom community, not a lot of nightlife here. The smell of wooden fires burning in hearths and in cooking fires is strong in the air. It is a crisp and clean night. The sky is visible. Constellations thick in the night sky. You can see even the shock of color of nebula that normally in a busier town you might not be able to view.
Well,
No one told you where you're supposed to be sleeping tonight.
fantastic.
Oh,
Which is exactly why my first order of business is to go talk to the town leaders again, because I completely forgot that we still have mercenary company business with them that I totally fucking flaked on.
That's okay. So you head back to the town square then, I assume, as that's at least the last place that you saw them.
I
Or
remember if
do
they gave
you-
us any, like, hey, come hit us up here,
if we're looking
as I
for
skimmed through my notes.
Jana and the others, assuming they would be the ones making our arrangements, I doubt they would be wandering around the middle of the town. Is there not a townhouse? Or
It's a half hour past dark, so any kind of main. There should be one central building that's still kind of got some light to it.
Are any
And for
hanging
what it's
signs
worth,
anywhere?
there are a number of smaller, sort of squat, single-floor, square buildings that have, camp light or candlelight going on. But indeed, there is one multi-story building back towards the town semicircle is really what it is, that has obvious torch light and perhaps even the familiar flicker of oil lamps that you can see from the street.
If that isn't the town hall, it's at least the person who has the most money in this town. Regardless, it's somebody we should be talking to.
It's certainly somebody that would know where the hell to find Jana, at the very least. So,
Onward, then. Come along, Edmund.
Yes, of course.
Yank.
Edmund, for his part, it's whenever you yank, like you do get this sort of satisfying that happens whenever you pull. And
don't
he
yank. You don't need to yank. He'll follow. This is in character. It's like, hey, dude, don't yank. You don't need to yank. We're okay without the yank.
It's a signal to let him know we're continuing on.
He can hear you.
Not everyone pays attention.
They do to me.
Fine, you hold
Come
the
on,
lead.
Edmund. Gladly. I took responsibility for him. I've had a long day. I'm very smelly. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap. Just try not to yank people around. We got to work on these people skills.
Edmund, for his part, doesn't put up a fuss either way.
No, of course he does.
He's
Poor guy.
mostly he's just looking around everywhere. Not wide-eyed necessarily, but he clearly doesn't trust this location, as he seems to be expecting something to jump out of the darkness at any given moment. So
Should have run Innistrad.
yeah, exactly. So you head over to the big building and knock, knock, knock on the large wrought iron bound thick wooden door, heavily splintered though. This door, as you look at it, you realize has been repaired multiple times, and possibly this isn't even the door original to this building.
I have a question about the building.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a sign or a nameplate on it or anything to tell us ahead of time, like what or who takes up residence here?
No. No. Actually, something that this town in general doesn't have much of is signage. You're not exactly certain why. There are a number of possible reasons, none of them.
They probably need the wood for
Pardon me.
repairs.
Well, also we don't know the town's literacy rate.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I had not calculated that.
They did write a letter.
Stable
to
is
something.
place where horses are. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, you put a picture of a horse on a sign. Boom, there you go.
I like picture books.
Dinah would.
Pretty. I can also read and do math, as I have already proven, but I do like picture books and I appreciate them.
Okay.
Monumental amount of time to illuminate a novel. Who has that much time?
Monks.
Both my fathers. Knock, 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 knock.
So you knock on the thick wooden door. You realize that like it's a heavy enough door that just knocking like with your knuckles forward won't do the trick, as no one's ever going to be able to hear that. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Unless there's a knocker. I could use that.
There is a knocker, and also there is a rope descending, or that descends from the ceiling right next to the door.
Pull it once.
It's an aged and slightly moldy silk rope with a tassel on the end of it.
I'd only want to touch it once.
And it rings a charming and almost comically high-pitched little dingly bell. And about 10 seconds later, the door creaks open as if it wants anything in the world other than to be opening right now. The sound it makes is nails across a laminate sheet in your soul. It just absolutely tingles deeply inside of you. And as the door opens, you see Jana actually being the one to open the door directly.
Hey, way to find the right place.
Jana like has to pull and then like get around to the front of it and then push the door the rest of the way. But now it's open, and a little bit out of breath, she looks at you and says, the young boy came back. That was fantastic. Do come in, please come in. I've just set a kettle on.
I'd like to let you know we have a
Excellent.
+1.
That's
There's
okay. Come in. And she steps inside. As foreboding and cold as the all-stone town is on the outside at night, inside it is nice. It's warm and well lit. Lots of candles and soft fuzzy flames creating comforting sort of shadow play across the walls. You can see your own shadow 5 or 6 different times from all the different light sources. There are rugs everywhere. The furniture all seems to be carved out of pieces of found wood. But all of it is also covered in quite a lot of cushions, all of which are clearly handmade, and each one is unique, as it looks like they too are all made of reclaimed materials.
Question for clarification here.
Mhm.
Elder Thomason, is that Jaina? Or Jana?
No, Jana and Thomason, I believe, are 2 different people. If
Okay.
I remember
They are.
correctly.
Thomason was the person that Thomas told us about, actually. Thomas told us about Thomason. I do not believe we have met Elder Thomason, or if we did, it was
Yes,
very
that
much
was the
in
one that
passing.
was talking about, you know, don't tell them. Here, have these bodies.
Yeah.
Stash them away. Don't make me look bad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was just double checking to
Yeah.
make sure I had my elders straight.
Yep.
I don't know how they prefer to spend their nights.
Listen,
I would like to know how they prefer to spend their days. I can be gay all 24 hours, man.
Afternoon delight. All right, so
Uh,
I'm sorry that I broke myself. So Elder Janna brings you in. She takes you to so the entryway is itself a landing that either you go downstairs or upstairs. There is no like clear first floor.
the split level?
So yeah.
Okay. Not an
So-
architectural design I expected to see in Innistrad, honestly.
It's kind of like revisiting the Catskills,
Yeah.
right? Uppity cabin.
So you head on in, and on the second floor is the kitchen and living quarters combo. There is a third floor that is closed off by a large, heavy door, similar in construction actually to the front door. That has an almost cartoonishly oversized lock and locking mechanism. Like you're pretty sure you could probably fit a whole finger in the keyhole, which is not meant to be innuendo in any fashion. I was literally actually using that as a description, but I
no
could
idea what
swear I
innuendo
saw.
for, but
Okay, never mind then. Great,
So
fantastic.
Grant's going to be a little sneaky right now.
Okay.
I'm going to actually use a point of mana to do it,
Oh, really?
rather than doing the ritual. And he's going to use the integrated lenses into his eye patch for detect magic, so he doesn't have to have the whole setup on.
Gotcha.
So he just kind of like, it looks like he's just fiddling with it, but there's actual
Sure.
gears and things moving around inside the patch.
Now, detect magic is blocked by certain amounts of certain materials. I'm correct in that, right?
Believe
So,
I
like,
think-
almost any amount of lead, for example, I know blocks it, but I think, like, a certain amount of stone or wood will also do the trick.
Yeah.
yeah.
Good job.
Beautiful.
Right to it.
Usually I'm the only one that can do that. Can see through most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Okay. So you can't really see anything upstairs. It just seems like there's, nothing particularly pinging your vision there. You can see that there are a variety of auras coming from the basement.
Whoa, God.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Sorry
No,
about
no,
that.
it's fine. That's the demons coming out. Also, I've been granted a fate die, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Let's cast Gust.
Dripping with goo.
It was great.
Poor fox.
I am a dripping with goo.
The School of Magic is, because I can never quite keep them straight, it's whatever is appropriate for enchanted items. So whatever that one is, that's what it seems to primarily be down
Transmutation.
there. Thank you.
Just like me.
So she has brought you into her living space and directs you each to take seats at a, frankly, a very large conference-style wooden desk. That is probably the nicest piece of furniture you've seen since you arrived here. It's very well kept. It looks even like it might have originally been made to be this thing as opposed to being reclaimed from something else. The chairs around it are, of course, appropriately handmade / cobbled together. But the table is, frankly, kind of nice. Dark maple or cherry. It's got a stain and a glaze and a protective layer. This is a for real table. Jana heads over to the hearth where her tea kettle is boiling. Steam is coming out of the pot, and she takes it off, pulls. She looks at the group of you. Oh, right, +1. Yes, okay. And grabs an appropriate number of mugs, sets them in front of each of you, plops a spoonful of herbs into each mug, and then comes around with the hot water, boiling it for all of you, and also one for herself. The mugs are handmade, look like they were thrown clay. They're all very thick-walled and glazed, and have sort of weird handles. They're like this big around. You can like hook a finger in, but that's about it. But like you can pick the whole thing up that way. And they've each got sort of artistically placed imperfections. Angelica's mug is turned in at spots where it otherwise like seems a little strange. Grant's mug has kind of a loop in the upper rim, and they're all painted different colors. Chloris, yours is green.
Dinah's not touching anything, I promise.
Once she puts the kettle back, Janice sits down, looks at all of you, and says, "Oh, please sit down."
Thank you for the tea.
Yes, well, I rarely get an opportunity to meet with people. We're not a very social bunch.
And I wish it was under better circumstances. Thank you. This will be a welcome warmth after the adventure we've just had beneath your city streets.
Yes, I can tell that you are carrying a certain amount of muck. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I was planning on cleaning most of the pillows anyway.
To that end, actually, yes. We some business first. We do need to secure lodging. Well, we stay here, as unfortunately our investigation took us away, and then an emergency took us further away from getting that thing discussed. And secondly, we do still need to discuss, or rather confirm, payment for services, as we were sent ahead to do that.
Yes, of course. Payment for services. Prediction started. Payment for services, we absolutely have available. I can actually show it to you right now if you like. Well, not right now. We would have to go down to the basement, but it's in the basement. We also have payment for your fantastic kindness in rescuing that boy. He's... God love him. This is not the first time he's needed to be rescued from somewhere, which explains perhaps, I think, some of the apathy that you may have noticed from the others here. The child has, on occasion, warned the town of impending danger, only for that impending danger to, of course, not materialize. So people have a tendency to not take what he says seriously. But it was pretty clear that he was in some real trouble. So thank you very much for believing.
Sounds like me and my brothers when we were younger. So. I know you're shocked. You're just absolutely gobsmacked by that, aren't you?
Yes, very.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, the real surprise today came in finding more beneath the sewers than a small child, it would seem.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we have further investigation to go. But
Ascertain the safety, surely.
yes, we found this individual down there.
Yeah, I did wonder where he came from.
His memory does seem a bit askew. Do you recognize him at all?
No, no, I don't. I've never seen this gentleman before in
Hmm.
my life.
I'd say he's far from
Edmund,
home.
by the way, can't drink his tea very easily because of his hands being bound, but
Hmm.
he keeps like dipping over to smell it. Um, and when Jana says that she doesn't recognize him, he sort of picks his head up and says, "Oh no, I've never been here before. I actually have no idea where I am."
But
Does
Dinah
he not
actually
have enough
gives him a
hand of
hand.
ability to go like this?
So I'm sort of assuming that with Grant's direction, he wanted you to sort of like mitten his hands.
Yep.
So he really like he could try to like
No, let him work with that.
he
Kinda helps
could try to
him
like
remember, too.
limit, but he's not doing that yet.
Dinah kind of just comes up like behind him and like reaches around, which I'm sure makes him go like, ah. Be like, don't
No,
worry about it.
absolutely it does. Like if you for as tall as he actually is, and he is 1 inch shorter than Grant, because Grant means tall, and so therefore no other character can be as tall. So Edmund, for as tall as he normally is, shrinks like quite a lot when you come
No,
by him.
don't stick your face in the tea by accident. Here, I'm gonna help you drink it because I know you don't have hands right now. So she's just gonna try to help him, like at least get it to his mouth
Thank you.
and
That
drink.
would be lovely. My mouth tastes entirely too much of itself.
There's certain taverns in Nephalia where you could pay for that, so be thankful.
Yeah, he's not wrong. But
Again, to the topic of payment, if we could just have some proof that you have the money you claim, and we can continue on through our business.
Yes.
I'm afraid it is a bit pressing as...
No, of course. Did the group of you need to come down and see it? Or is just 1 or 2 of you enough? It's quite heavy. I can't lift it myself.
I would like to inspect
Quick
it
look
myself.
around the table.
I like lifting things.
You'll have to forgive me.
could
I
assist
assumed
with
we
the
would be
tea,
paid
Dinah,
in
if you want
coin.
to go to the basement.
Yes,
Sure.
you will be paid in coin, but the
Okay.
amount of coinage involved is greater than I'm not a young woman.
No, fair enough. Dinah, I'll help him drink the tea if you would mind going
Oh,
down
Cloris volunteered. So
there. Or Cloris. I'm sorry, I misheard. It's a lot of shit in my ear still.
if,
Ugh.
how big is the thing that's gotta get lifted?
Well, typically it's carried around by 2 young strapping lads who each insert a large pole into the appropriate slot on either side of it, and then hoist it on their shoulders.
How proud am I feeling today?
I don't know. You seem to have a
You
very
don't
good
need to bring it up here. We
familiarity
just
with
need to
large
confirm that it
chests.
exists.
Yes, please. Whoever would like to come downstairs with me, feel free. And Jenna stands up and she heads over towards the doorway, grabbing a little candle on a metal plate with a finger loop.
Yeah, I'll go. I have no problem with that. You all know that I like lifting things.
Again, don't throw out your back. We just need to know that they have the money. This is not supposed to be a whole
I-
thing.
Push
Um,
around, make sure it's actually full of money. That kind of thing.
I will investigate it properly. Thank you. Just looking at Edmund. You know, you could bite your head off at a single whim. So, don't do anything dumb.
Of course, of course. I suppose I wouldn't mind if I had to pick away. Well, yes, no.
That had the opposite effect.
Oh, no.
Grant stands up and goes to follow the old woman.
And the old woman carrying a little candle in front of her, she takes you downstairs where the stone staircase ends on a small landing and another heavy-set wooden door, which she pulls the key out from somewhere deep within her robes and opens the lock.
Or I keep keys too.
Hoists the door
He doesn't have his
open
pickpocket.
and invites you
That's okay.
inside. Do you go in before her or wait for her?
Well, she's leading the way. And she has the light, so
You have dark vision, but yeah, that's fine. So she when she like offers for you to head in and then you don't, she's just like, oh, okay, that's fine. And she heads in front of you carrying the candle, and what you see is the town treasury. And boy howdy, this town's got a treasury. On the wall are a variety of hung weapons that are sort of mounted on display panels, several of which are magical. These are almost certainly the auras that you saw earlier. There are chests absolutely filled to the brim with coinage of a variety of mintings from all over the realm, as well as, and this is noteworthy for you, one chest entirely full to the brim of silver coins.
yeah.
And give me a perception check.
I'll chest with an
I think.
Well, you know what? Back in medieval times, they might have done that, so it's fine. It's
There
fine.
you go.
Yeah, yay!
Immersion.
My hand just went F. Sure.
You've done them.
Yeah. Please open my fist.
No, thank you. I'm good. I'll pass.
Or
Yeah.
cheft.
Oh.
Dinah's staring at the weapons like, oh. Yeah, okay, let's go.
I do have perception trained though, so that's going to be a 14.
Yeah, I do too. On them weapons right now.
So you see a couple of things. First off, there are a number of archaic mechanical devices down here that, though not magical, or at least they don't give off a magical aura, look like sort of historical examples of some of the tools that you use even to this day. They are worth quite a lot, if only as antiques, although if they are functioning, some of them might even prove to be lethal in some hilariously explosive ways. Additionally, the silver coins are, you catch a glimpse of them as you pass. They are minted from a time prior to the Abyssinian Church.
Oh. So they've got some vampiric house printing on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would I be able to recognize what the
House
bloodline
of
is?
Markov.
Lineage was what?
House of Markov.
House Markov. Okay. Noted.
Mm-hmm. And there are a number of other fairly expensive bits and baubles and odds and ends down here, but those are the biggies. Those are the real ones. There's also a lot of art that, you know, the value of which is debatable depending on your personal taste.
The critics set the prices anyway, and it's all just a big circle jerk at the end of the day.
Yes, the wealthy get wealthier.
Grant is an art critic. This AU. Oh, light it on fire!
No, he's an
Christ.
artist that is held back by the critic. Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
while you're down there, she just sort of like waves her arm around the room and says, I believe the agreed upon price was, what was it, 500 gold for the initial, and then an additional 15,000 for the retainer after. So if you would like the 500 now, I could certainly provide it to you, or else you can wait until the rest of your cadre arrives.
Well, I do believe it would be easier on everyone's backs if we were possibly paid in silver instead.
Oh, sure. Give me one moment. I have to consult my text on the current exchange rate. She sort of toddles over in elderly woman shuffle.
I can help you with the maths if there's any requirement.
Oh, no, this is what I do all day. And she pulls out a large leather-bound book.
I'll make an economics test.
Oh my god. Like the bargain? Thanks. Yeah, I don't.
I mean, if so here's the thing. If we would like to have a sort of a contested roll about the exchange rate of silver, that's totally viable. With a negotiation or whatever the fuck the skill is named these days.
Persuasion, I believe, is the current usage.
Persuasion.
Okay.
This might
So,
surprise you. Grant doesn't have the best charisma,
No.
Really?
Really? Yep.
Yeah,
but
she's
he
upstairs
is
drinking tea.
skilled in persuasion.
Fun fact,
Nicolas
I'm skilled
Cage
in
face.
intimidation.
Really?
Golly, I would have never.
It's literally because she's from Stencia, that's it.
A man who was
She had a negative
emaciated,
one.
unable to drink his own fucking tea, restrained, and has been inside of a fucking spider cave for a day, and you felt it was necessary to fucking shake him down on the way out? Yeah. Charisma's kind of low. Not a people person. It was subtle, but I picked up on it.
Hello, stupid child.
The child was reckless.
No, stupid, reckless child.
In fact, repeat offender. I might add. We now know this.
Now we have evidence.
Yes.
I am a repeat offender,
Yeah.
and look at me! I turned out great.
You get
Would you
yourself
prefer
out
I
of
call you
holes.
stupid, reckless, Dinah?
Oh, my mom did that plenty, thanks.
Okay.
Oh dear.
So yeah, if
You're not my
there's
real
a
mom.
now, are we talking about a bargain test, or are we actually talking about figuring out what the exchange rate is?
No, we're talking about bargaining. There's haggling to be done here. The exchange rate is just a simple mathematic formula, but a discussion about what, say, today's exchange rate is versus whenever she got these outdated numbers from.
It has
That's
a little
totally
gilding a
different
lily
area.
in there.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to spend a point of fortune
Go
if we
for it.
could.
We got 5.
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
I have rolled, and I will spend a point of fate.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
Jesus.
22.
Ooh. All right, you beat her 21.
Shit.
All right.
Well,
I rolled a-
fortune and fate
I
on
rolled-
both
Yeah,
of you.
seriously.
Yeah.
So she is, for what it's worth, a cunning bargainer. This is clearly what she does for a living.
I'm a master
but-
debater.
She's clearly tired, is what it is.
Yes,
That's why
yeah.
you're blind in one eye?
She's closer to death than us.
But you manage to wrench some goodwill out of her against her better judgment.
That.
And
It's that Grant charm.
yes,
Give him the gun.
a phenomenal display of leadership. And so she, instead of giving you only, hang on one second, it would have been, I actually have to use a calculator for this, and I
Ooh.
apologize for anyone watching, because I'm sure that that's not especially riveting. But hang on. So it would have been
Here,
that.
I'll undulate for their amusement.
Ooh, thank you for the undulating.
Utterly
so-
tantric.
So her argument is
I
that
got
no
it's
curves.
currently a 3-to-1 trading ratio. Grant, you argue her to some percentage slightly above that, such that she gives you 175 silver. with a street value of 550 for that sweet, sweet uncut silver. Actually, it's all cut. It's little coins, but you know what I mean.
For clarification, since I keep the ledger around here, is that to go to the company?
Yeah, technically.
Oh.
Whether or not it gets there is entirely up to you guys.
I foolishly did not follow Grant, so we shall see what happens.
Wow. Well, we thought something
That
needed
money's
to be
going
lifted.
wherever. That money is in God's hands now, man.
I prefer Grant.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
And Dinah's not even paying attention to any of this. She's just like, oh, ancestors be praised. I really like this axe.
Swords. So it's real. Upon close inspection, it is 100% real silver.
Oh fuck yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
God, yes,
I'm
it
very
is.
happy about this. Even if it's going to the company,
Valued.
it's still going
Yeah.
to a place that will be useful rather than being in some town's basement.
Mm-hmm. Totally. She hands it to you in a fairly weighty and well constructed leather sack with a draw pull on top. So she scoops and weighs and scoops and weighs and scoops and weighs. She takes a few coins out, weighs it again, cinches it tight, and hands it to you. Well, she cinches it tight and then gently gestures for you to please pick it up because it's actually quite heavy.
Then he won't pick it up himself. Dinah, your strength is required.
Yeah, okay. Still looking to be like, I didn't expect to see those down here. What's up with those?
Those are the consecrated weapons of the old militia of the town. They used to be a sort of an offshoot of the local faith of quite a long time ago, centuries ago. That spear was used in a battle against a bog witch. There's documentation for such available in the records building. The double-headed axe there was used to slay a troll. Yeah. It apparently, my understanding is that it leaves behind a fiery, arcing trail as it is sliced.
Is that one of the
useful.
actual enchanted ones?
Yeah. All the ones
Okay.
she's pointing to are the enchanted ones.
Oh, okay. So I can tell she's not just like, I was wondering if there was going to be yarns about like all of them, but only like 2 of them are actually enchanted. And I'm like, okay, not that one.
All right,
Not that-
Grandma.
That one actually could work.
Fire. Oh, you don't say. Okay.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And then that one, the fine rapier there, that was held by the captain of the guard. Oh, goodness. 700 years ago? 750 years ago? Nothing nice in this town is new.
Why are they just down here and they're not being used by someone who could do good with them now?
Unfortunately, you may have noticed that some of the townspeople, perhaps most of the townspeople, are afflicted with apathy.
That does seem to be a running theme here, yes.
I couldn't exactly tell you where it comes from, but these items are kept here because, frankly, no one anymore seems willing to wield them.
Me. I'm here. I am absolutely willing to wield that.
Down, Dinah.
Child, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but you don't live here. And these are priceless heirlooms. I suppose something could be negotiated.
No,
but...
just one moment. Grab the silver and let's walk and talk for a few moments. We have to bring this back to the rest.
Okay, yeah. just keeps looking at it, like just glancing at it, and takes the bag and just hoists.
And as we're
going up,
as we're walking, just keep. There, in Nephalia, there was a accounting firm that I was familiar with, and I learned a little bit of their craft. So the skills of Dewey, Fleesom, and Howe will come in eventually. But right now, we will.
Fucking Three Stooges? Sorry, continue.
Right now, let us focus on building the goodwill. And then we'll see about getting your hands on helpful things.
Alright, I mean, I just kind of figure we're in an old woman's basement and they're not using stuff, and maybe we could use it, well, especially while we're here, to do work with them, for them.
Old people think things are useful when they are stored and kept away in hidden places.
Donna looks at Grant's pack for like a hot second.
This goes with me at all times.
Yeah, it's stored though.
That stored with access. Everything I need is in this pack. Everything that would help the
anyone needs is in that pack.
Well, then you acknowledge its usefulness.
What's that drawer for?
Which one?
The little one on the side.
What?
It's like this big.
Does it have markings on it?
No?
That's the junk drawer.
Oh. Okay. Gotcha. Everybody has one of those. We definitely have one at home.
Odds and ends, glue, bits of string,
Mm-hmm.
paper clips.
Yeah.
Occasional gun.
Tiny scissors. Yes.
Sorry, just Texas.
Miscellaneous ghosts. It's fine.
Texas, yeah. Also Grant, actually, now that you mention it.
Yeah.
Is in a junk drawer?
has a gun in a junk drawer.
Okay. I was like, wait.
The broken gun that needs to be repaired later might be in the junk drawer. Anyway,
Junk in his trunk?
we'll...
I'm surprised it took us 5 episodes to get there.
Yeah. I'm helping.
Tim and Dad, good.
Let's establish a little bit of goodwill before we take their antiques and heirlooms from them.
Taking it.
Bargain for their antiques and heirlooms.
I was also thinking, again, wielding it now while we help them, and then if worse comes worse, I would give it back.
And that's when you take them... I'll explain later.
And this whole time, I was just like...
As we're walking up.
Oh, okay, you guys are heading back up. All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
by
well-
now I think we've gotten to the top of the
While
stairs.
while you guys were gone, Cloris was helping with the tea, and she slipped a good berry to the bottom and was like, "It looks like you haven't had much to eat, so if you drink the entire cup of tea, you will get sustenance at the bottom."
Oh, it's like a
Hydrate.
surprise.
The fruit at the bottom.
Edmund's eyes get really big as he looks at you, and the sort of wells up, and he says, "Oh, thank you. It's with a surprise at the bottom.
Oh, that's adorable.
That's so pleasant. Thank you." And is eager to sip the rest of his tea before he gets to the good berry, which he chomps with much aplomb.
No, it's a berry.
Oh my god.
I love just serving them up for you.
Is a plum a berry though?
Wow.
No, it's got a pit.
True.
Oh, actually, maybe. No, I'm trying to remember. No, I think it's like berries have their seeds in the. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't really
plum,
fucking
a
matter.
berry.
Sorry, I'm the know things one this time.
Delightful.
I'm supposed to ask stuff.
Is there a plum in that junk drawer?
So you guys get back up into the room.
Delicious.
Jana closes and locks the door behind you, and follows you up the stairs. And now the whole team is back together.
We have acquired payment. Or at least the first
Excellent.
part, and I can assure you that they have the rest.
Then we can continue with the rest of our work here. Tell me, are you aware of any ancient labyrinths and sealed places beneath the city? Any local legends of old dungeons, monsters locked away.
Welcome to Innistrad.
I am not, but Elder Thomason is the record keeper. He would have possible lore related to such. I remember hearing as a little girl there was a tale of a traveling trickster who bilked the town out of its happiness, I think, but that was always taught as sort of a metaphor for not trusting strangers and listening to your parents. So I never really gave it much thought.
And where might we find this Thomason?
Well, he's old, very old, and I don't mean as in an elder. He is actually quite aged. He doesn't leave his bed very often these days. You'll find his, if you were to consider the opening gates that you came in, the center of a clock face, Elder Thomason's home is at around 3.
Any markings that might give it away?
You'll probably smell it.
Oh, okay.
That's
So,
unsettling.
just so you know, we can't kind of not smell ourselves right now, given where we've been.
So
Wow.
that lodging and bathing opportunity would be greatly looked upon.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. So
Doesn't smell
you
like shit.
have your choice. Actually, directly next to this building, the 3 buildings in a row from it are all currently unoccupied. You may use any or all of them as you wish.
Oh,
Everything okay over there?
I don't know.
Am I
Dinah
right?
just referred to her massive tracts of land.
No,
Oh,
I got
I don't
my
know what
glove.
this means to anyone else, but
I got caught in my candle, which is apparently a mimic.
yeah.
Like grab my glove.
You tried to very quietly put it down and then went because it was stuck to you at the time.
Yep, it got stuck to my glove.
I see. Okay.
That's a quick fail.
okay.
It's fine. We're good.
That will do nicely, thank you.
Yes. Would you like anything else? I don't have much in the way of food, but I'm sure I could scrounge up some bread, maybe some cheese.
Access to a well so that we can get water and
Oh,
the key to the home.
I suppose perhaps you're not aware of the secret of this town.
Secret. Well, you
Want
did have
secrets?
a bunch of graves that were. I thought that was very ominous and secretive, but
Well, the good secret, the
Oh.
reason why this town still exists. We function on tourism, you see. Tourism and despair. But tourism as often as we can.
Ah, New York.
Disney
Wow.
World.
wow, guys.
Please follow me. I will show you your new quarters, or at least your current lodging. And she toddles over, grabs her candle again, and a keyring off of a hook on the wall. Then thinks for a moment, sets them down, grabs a cloak, throws the cloak over herself, then picks up the keyring and candle again. Please follow me. And she starts toddling down the stairs.
Do you have our guest?
Did you finish your
Yes.
tea?
Edmund not only finished his tea, but he absolutely smashed the fuck out of that goodberry. And he is looking alive. His skin is not quite as sort of translucent as it was before. I wouldn't call what he has now color, but he is at least properly opaque.
Properly opaque.
Oh, good for him.
I can't claim that. Look at that. I'm like a cave troll. You can see the entire map. Anyway.
Jenna runs over to her mug that's been sitting there. She'll get like a couple of sips and just ignore the burning tongue. It's fine.
It's probably not that
probably
hot
cooled off
anymore.
by now.
Yeah. Now you
Yeah,
can chug it.
the tea, by the way, is delicious. It's lavender and vanilla, and makes you feel warm and calm.
I'll mark warm and
Just
calm
make
on
ones
my
like,
sheet.
wow.
Yes.
What's the status
yes.
effect?
You
What
are
do I get?
none, aside from just general good feels.
We are now warm and calm.
Yes.
Mhm.
I
For
For
have
those
a
of us
nice
who
old
drank
tea.
it.
It's on. It's
I
on
believe
our bars.
I believe that those are conditions on page in the manual. Yeah.
These noises can stop. Ew.
So I'm assuming
doesn't
that
need
you
to be a
follow.
thing.
We toddle along
assuming-
behind the
Yeah.
toddler.
Okay. Yeah, she is not a speedy woman, but she gets you to the house next door. This one is 2 stories and is a more traditional layout. So you enter onto the main floor with living quarters. It looks like this building was previously owned by someone who likes to hunt, as there are a great many trophies on the wall. She then takes you up the stairs and shows you a room that looks to be primarily for bathing or doing other private things. And she pulls back a large curtain, and you see a pipe that is fitted in the wall at slightly higher than head height, ending in a nozzle. She walks over and she says, "This town, our claim to fame," and she turns the faucet on, "is hot and cold running water."
Hot?
Yes.
The
It's-
pipes we saw.
It's like a hot spring that goes into your house?
Yeah.
I,
Please.
Quick question.
Please.
Have I-
And she turns it off. It sputters every once in a while, but it does work. The people who lived in this town long ago, when the mine was still operational, found that they needed some way to wash out portions of the mine, and so they developed an intricate and vast plumbing system that runs underneath the city.
Does it smell of like sulfur, like when you get well water, right? When she turned it on and then
No, they used primarily copper and brass, I believe, as well as stone. A lot of stoneworks as well.
Is it?
It's more like, does the water smell weird?
yeah, you know, when you
Yeah.
go places upstate, you turn the water on. Sometimes it has that the sulfur, the egg smell, because it's pulling from, right?
Okay. Yeah, I understand. She.
That's better than how
Like,
we
if
smell
the
it.
water
Is
doesn't
it, yeah, I was
smell
gonna say, like
Is
she
it
turns
well
the faucet
water?
back
Is
on
it a
little bit.
cistern? Is it rainwater
We
collection?
actually don't know the specific origins of the water these days.
Purified food
it
and
comes
drink
from
is a definite yes.
Somewhere deep underground, we believe that there is a hot spring. But for all of you, you notice there's no smell.
Is it potable?
Yes, this is what we all drank. hence why the young lad was able to fall down into a sewer, because we have those, but we don't really have wells here.
Noted.
I need to ask, have I ever seen plumbing before? Considering
No.
I'm from like the most civilized, like developed area of
Fucking
it's like not,
no.
This has never been a thing. Okay.
No. The only place where this has been a thing that you've ever even heard of, I actually won't tell you because I need a history check from everybody for it.
Roll some dice, bitch.
Okay. 9.
25.
9 again.
9.
So were we trying to
9.
History.
I'm gonna roll it because it's a -1 and that's funny. Let's go. 7.
Kind of like a 9 if you bent it a little.
1.
That's part of it.
We'll
9.
go with the 25 then.
Yes.
Some of the old vampire houses are said to have bathing pits, effectively. I'm not saying anything one way or the other, but they're known to have bathing pits where they used to wash off the local townsfolk that they would capture and feed upon. They preferred them to be clean, and so would take them inside and bathe them. But the stories that made it out were not of like pleasant baths or anything like that, but rather cages with water pouring on them from above.
Ah.
Careful.
So the installation of these... that's very interesting. Huh. I'll have to look
It's
into it and
fantastic.
discuss it with you later. I realize I was just like, and Grant winks at... It's just blinking for Rant.
Oh
I
no!
realize. I wanted to wink to...
Would you like to have retroactively established, let's say, an alternative signal?
Finger
We've
guns.
worked
It's
out-
always
Two.
finger guns.
Yes.
He scratches the side of his head and then just under his ear in a very specific sequence to be like, we'll talk later to Angelica.
Yes, no, I'm looking forward to, this is truly a miracle.
We
Thank you.
certainly think so.
Well, we're going to make use of this now then, as we all smell of shit.
Of course, of course. Do make sure that when you stand in there that you are nearer to the drain, so that it makes it easier for it to properly collect the refuse. I will return to my home, and if you need anything, please feel free to simply come over and knock any time or send a runner. I don't sleep as well as I used to, so I'm often awake at odd hours.
Very well. It is appreciated.
In due course, I would like to discuss with you the state of your town's defenses. That was also part of the negotiated contract, but for now, I think it would be best if we all had a little bit of rest.
Of course, and we can absolutely discuss that in more detail later. I will tell you for now, the state of our town defenses is that we don't have any.
The whole no will
No,
to lift a finger to fight probably gets in the way of things.
So, have a good evening.
I spoke more of your fortifications, but yes, we will discuss this in the morning.
Of course. Have a good night. And she
As soon as she's
turns
out the door?
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as
Yeah,
she's out the
she-
door, Grant, what the fuck's wrong with this water?
Oh, but
Water's not hot. This water's hot, and I don't want to be scared of the hot water, but past
wait,
history has
there's something
shown
wrong
me
with
that
the shot.
occasionally be scared of hot things.
The water? I found it so good.
Well, it speaks more to the origin of the town.
Water's okay.
A combination of things, actually. 1 hour payment.
Hmm.
Dinah, if you would.
Oh yeah. Just drops the like.
We didn't get
Shucks the bag.
500 gold.
I pull a
Opens up
coin
the
out of the
neck.
bag and take a look.
Oh.
Vampire houses.
Markov specifically. And these houses were known for making sure that their stock was well cleaned. Sort of how when you pull leeks from the ground, you make sure to wash them before you cook with them. Same concept. So I feel as though this may have been a kept town, if you understand what I mean.
Thoroughly.
You say vampire?
All right. Well,
Yes. That's what this holds up the little... This is the House of Markov.
Is that familiar to Dinah?
So the House of Markov, yeah. While they're
Cat.
not one of the... Yes.
cat floating in space.
Hi
Black
there.
void cat floating in space.
Ollie Sampson.
Making biscuits
Void
in the
cat.
void. Yeah.
So House Markov does not exist or isn't a big name in your homeland, but they are known to be one of the biggest and oldest vampire houses, who were often at war with the vampire clans where you come from, Dinah.
Oh.
So, Brunfell is in which of the regions?
I
Being
believe I
Gavany,
said it's on the
Nephalia?
outskirts of Nephalia.
Oh, okay. Then I'd definitely be familiar with them.
Yep.
My local worry. If you are fine with using nefarious plumbing,
Nefarious. What? I understand that it seems to have some
these were
dubious
used.
uses prior. Is there any problems with it now?
I wouldn't drink from it, and honestly, I'd prefer to be able to purify it before using it for anything other than scrubbing our clothes lightly.
That's not going to be for drinking. That's going to be for getting naked in. That's what that's going to be.
I cannot...
Purified spiritually or boiled?
If we boil it, it may be potable. I can ensure it with... I have several powders and chemicals that can be used to ensure that.
I thought you were going to shoot it or something.
I do more than just shoot things.
Or, boil it with your turret.
That would be a gross misuse of my turret.
I'm
think
gonna
it
use it
depends
to
on who
wash
you're
the
asking.
shit off of my boots, if nobody minds, so...
I'm with Angelica on this one. You all smell rancid.
Yeah, I'm getting naked in there. I don't really care.
I will join. Yes.
Group shower scene?
I
Group
will-
shower
Yeah,
scene.
it's that anime scene where everyone's sitting in the different. Yeah.
I was
will-
thinking Starship Troopers.
I Grant just after looking at the plumbing, just I warned you. I will allow you to have first go then,
Well, you'll
and
have
I
to
will
with
use your
Edmund.
experience as data.
Fine. When we come out and we don't have several arms and crab claws coming out from our back, please help Edmund as well because he smells pitiful.
I will take care of that.
I'll see if there's a hose.
No, please, you have so much to live for, Grant.
Actually, while they're
Prostitution's a fine line of work. Stop that.
while they're bathing, I will take an uninterrupted hour of work to make a smithing kit so I can build proper witch's manacles for this chap.
Yeah, it's fine.
I want his fingers splayed as wide as possible with a very set distance bar that keeps him right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's what he's doing while everyone else is bathing.
Okay.
Which, true to my word, I will continue to sit with Esmond. Like, if in case it wasn't clear, I do want this understood by everybody. He doesn't leave my sight at any point.
Oh,
So you guys can go wash up, and then when you come out, I can bathe myself and himself.
I mean, Angelica, that's a little. We don't
Yes?
know.
I'll take 2 rounds. I will take this hit for the team to get clean twice
hang on,
to
are
make
you
sure
worried
that
about
Andy's safe.
Are you worried about my womanly virtue in front of a man or something?
No, I'm
wouldn't
just
have thought
making
you'd
sure
type.
that he behaves. That's all.
Yes,
No,
you're in dire peril.
The man can barely stand.
Yeah,
And I am hardly a helpless waif. It's fine.
Just personal experience. Just let me do it. Makes me feel better.
You just want to shower twice.
That as well, but the spider bites are weird, and I really feel like I'm gonna need to go.
All right.
Well, make
It's
sure
not worth
Angelica's
arguing
clothes
over.
get
Go
extra clean
shower.
because there was several along the back, and
You know
that
what?
might be very difficult to reach.
Yeah,
All 4 of us are going together. Let's just do this.
Yep.
Edmund, come on. It's time to get naked with everybody.
I'll just be here ensuring safety.
Uh-huh.
Onsen. Okay, so
The most demented spa episode.
some amount of nudity ensues with quite a lot of bathing as well. However that happens, fine. In the shower already, there is a cloth-wrapped bar of soap. You easily, unwrap it, and it's again lavender and vanilla. You think perhaps Elder Janna makes the stuff.
Nefarious lavender.
And it is remarkable. None of you have ever known such luxury. You wonder why this isn't a thing anywhere else, but also at the same time you just don't care. And all of you are granted sort of a benefit here, which is you're given the cleanliness buff, which is my own. But what it means is that, yes, in the buff, what it means is that, so normally rest doesn't actually fully heal you, I don't think, or maybe it does. No, it does. Fuck yeah. But if you like take a nice shower and then sleep in a nice bed, I will grant you 10 temporary hit points when you awake in the morning. That will last all day or until, well, they last until long rest or until they're used, whichever comes first.
Neat. There is other shit I need to take care of tonight, though, so, but other than that, yeah. Cool.
So the shower happens, nothing nefarious occurs, no demons, no fire, no oil slick, no horrifying creaking noises or voices coming from the drain.
The tub try and grab the baby.
Wow.
It's all just steam and lavender and
joy,
cozy.
Yeah.
Edmund in particular, he doesn't. Well, aside from the fact that his hands are worthless at the moment, he just stands under the hot water, and because of the paper thin and pale nature of his skin and his just generally emaciated form, you can see like his spine, you can see his lack of muscle. But what is there is well defined in the way that a starving man has abs, and all of his muscles relax simultaneously while he is in the shower. He's just,
oh, buddy.
Dinah's just enjoying the fact that the hot springs have come to her. And this is a great day.
And all Grant is doing is preparing to make him far more uncomfortable.
Like you do.
Like he does, yeah.
I feel like that's...
So at this point, I mean, you guys had wanted to confer, so
yeah. Once everyone has been cleaned, Grant takes a solo run and does light scrubbing. Doesn't even get into the tub itself. Actually, just puts his things near the tub, scrubs off what he can, and kind of just uses one of his own towels, gets it damp enough, and just stands outside to wipe down because he does not trust anything going on here yet. So he doesn't smell of lavender. He has his own scents that he has in his pack that he uses. Mostly
machine oil and steel wool.
He smells like
Provision shop?
Like gunpowder and leather. Really is all he smells
Crafty
like.
Gamer?
Yeah, provision shop actually would be closest.
Yeah.
An actual scent you can get.
Grant's ball smell brought to you by.
No. Nope.
If we don't make a sale tonight on Provision Shop
Hang
after
on.
that, I don't know what
can
you
I fix
guys
with lay on
want.
hands? I gotta check my ability details, because if I can fix that ball smell with lay on hands, I'm doing it. I will take that fucking bullet for the team. Neutralize poisons, you say?
Well, I mean...
So after he does that, taking like half or less of the time that it took everybody else to get
I'm
bathed,
sure we all lingered.
comes out.
Oh, yeah.
And in the hour work that I had before that, would you say it would be understandable that he was able to make a pair of witch's manacles?
Yeah.
Okay. Now these are essentially they're gloves with a separated finger for each, but each finger is connected by a bar, and those fingers are also there's inward curved metal edges that make excessive motion a little painful and irritating. And then they're also bound with a straight bar that keeps the hands at this distance at all times. No semantic movements for you, sir.
Yeah, it's a DC 15 sleight of hand check.
It just so happens this is how I cast Fireball.
I can only cast this one spell over and over.
If you don't mind putting your hands in these.
Oh,
That's a mean question.
of course. And he freely submits his hands to you to manipulate them however you need to shove them into the manacles.
He's not overtly rough with him about it, but he wants to be sure they're exceedingly secure.
Sure. Yeah. You successfully lock his hands into a stress position.
Good.
And he lowers his arms once you give them back to him.
Now I feel as though we should have a discussion first before we ask you any more questions. So, if you don't mind, I would like to confer with my colleagues.
Of course. Where should I go?
Yeah, about that. So, Grant, we're gonna just pull up the horse a little short here. Hey, does anybody else remember that there's like 4 more of us? We should probably go get the rest of the crew. So, I'm gonna head out to the stables. I need some gear I need to pick up off of the cart anyway. Dinah, he moves, cut his head off, that whole thing.
There
You
are
probably
additional
won't. You probably
houses
won't,
in the
Edmund.
line, right? So
Yeah.
there should be plenty of rooms for everyone.
Yeah.
As for the rest of you two, figure out what to make good of your time. I'll be back shortly. And I head out into the night to go get the rest of the lamplighters.
They are not at the stables. They have left behind a small note on parchment. It looks like they took a larger sheet of parchment, pulled a strip off of it, and then wrote a note for you saying, found
This is from one of my sketchbooks.
I mean, it looks... it's hard to tell.
Paper's expensive.
Damn it.
Uh,
Very expensive paper.
hang on one sec, because I need to find the
Vellum,
exact.
people.
'Cause I actually wrote this one out. Hang on. Give me just a second.
Got that good vellum. Alright.
But where's no? Hang on. Oh, that's right. It's on the other thing. Okay, so the note reads, "Found a tavern," in big letters.
Of course they did.
"We are getting hammered."
Oh man.
Great.
No,
And then
if you want to
And
just
then
stay in this
underneath-
house. You don't tell her.
but then underneath it says, "P.S. Don't drink the water." And then it's signed at the bottom, Brian, who is your sorcerer.
Rad. I pull the note down. Check on my horse. Make sure he's
Your
okay.
horse is fine. Look at that horse.
Horse is
That
fine.
horse is amazing.
Oh,
The
I'm
fuck
not going
me
to lick
eyes
him.
again. Jeez.
I know what he tastes
This is
like.
He
amazing.
tastes like raisins.
Tastes like raisins, but I'm not gonna lick him. Scoop up just like my own personal, like, because
Oh
I
my goodness.
don't have quite as much shit as Grant, but
Wow.
The benefits of being at the table. They're amazing.
but
Where's Grant?
The
How long to distribute?
They
some-
might not be good because these
Is that a
are
cinnamon roll?
exploded.
yeah, cinnamon
Looks like
rolls
Danish.
are Cloris is familiar. Made cinnamon rolls.
Thank you, Minerva.
I will not fry and eat you, I promise.
Don't eat the bird.
Just keep feeding me
They're
other
an
things.
exceptional cook. They use those little for perforating and putting nice little edges on it. You know.
Okay,
Little
so
bird
Lo-
horse?
love to edge a cinnamon roll. Anyway, I grab my painter's shit and do I want to just leave them a note? They're at a tavern getting hammered. I should really go find them. Yeah. Is anybody there at the friggin'? Is there anybody around?
There is a stable boy who's currently napping on a few hay bales.
I just kind of crouch down, push my hat back, try to look nice. Excuse me, sir. Sir.
Huh? Hmm?
Hi. Yes, I'm looking for a tavern. My compatriots have apparently gone off to one. Just need directions. Looking for
We
the
don't-
tavern.
We don't have a tavern. Oh.
Like a
Oh, you mean you mean Stu's place? Yeah.
If it's a place you can get drunk, it's the place I'm looking for.
Oh, you can get drunk. It's just up that row. Like a right when you see the blue hitching post. Head straight down to the end of it, and you'll hear it before you see it.
Thank you. And I get up. I start walking that direction.
Oh no.
Cool. Following the directions, you do hear what sounds like raucous music playing, and laughter and fun. Something completely alien to the rest of this town.
I head inside and look around for my crew.
So it's a two-story building that when you walk inside, you realize like just the second floor isn't there. It's just like a very high-ceilinged building. It's got a gray exterior with a sort of a sunburst symbol painted onto it in bright yellow. And inside are people cavorting and being merry and bouncing around. And you see Elise, your cleric, sitting on a stool near the entry, holding a bottle of something brown, and generally looking a little swayy, kind of like the stool is tall, so she's sort of like kicking her feet in time with the beat. And as you walk in, she turns around and goes, "Oh, hello, Angie."
Oh no!
Hi, Elise.
Oh, we should down at her party.
Brian, Donald, and Nikki.
They're around. They're having fun.
They're around. They're
There's the
having
rest of the
fun.
spirit squad.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. We're just gonna put a little arm on your shoulder so you don't go wandering. And I clear my throat. Stand up. 10 hut.
And three
Look around the room.
3 people, as well as Elise under your arm. 3 other people in the room suddenly like stomp to attention, and you can plainly spot them amongst the party
I was
goers.
hoping it was gonna be other people, like
Very telling.
just randomly, just what?
Panic.
No, that probably knocks people out of their chairs, but they did not stand up from it. Lamplighters, excellent. If we could fall in.
Sorry, that is Donald, who says, "Yeah, we can fall wherever you want."
Here, with suffice in front of me, Donald.
Yes, of course, sir. Sorry, sir. Absolutely, sir.
Appreciate it.
and
Thank you.
Comes. They all are standing. What they would like to be at attention, but is at best a very, very sloppy parade rest.
Emphasis on rest.
Mm-hmm.
We have secured lodging. So we're going to settle up here with whatever you know owe the proprietor. And then I'm going to take you where we're going to all have a nice little nap for several hours, okay?
Nikki looks at you, and from behind her leather face mask and hood, you can see the somewhat glazed expression of someone who has been at it for quite some time. But she looks at you and says, "I've already handled the payment part. We're good to go whenever."
Excellent. Thank you, barkeep, for your hospitality. Everyone's sorry for the disturbance.
The guy behind, so the guy behind the bar, who is wearing a sort of a very large, jaunty hat. It's a very poofy hat. It's got a gigantic feather coming out of the front of it, and he says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hey, anyone who comes into Stu's house party needs to come and party with the house."
Who's ready to party?
Oh, of course. Bottom water.
I don't know dominate. I do know hold person. Oh, I know command.
There you go.
There you go. You do have dominate.
I do have dominate. I have it prepped.
Wipe my mouth.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Is the only response I muster.
We're here to party back the doom and gloom that's taken over this whole place.
Oh, yes, I'm here to literally murder the doom and gloom that is taken over this own place. So, if you'll excuse me, myself and my men, we need to make our way to our lodgings. Thank you again for your hospitality.
All right, well, come on by any time at Stu's house party. The party never stops.
Wimmy wham wham wazzle.
Thank you, Stu. You're a boon to your town. And to continue to I'm just trying to herd cats, usher the team out the door and then over to our lodgings.
Sure. They do come along. They don't put up a fuss. They're all holding. Well, hang on. Nikki and Elise are both holding bottles. Brian is holding a flask with a number of sort of intricate markings on it, and Donald has just the biggest stein you have ever seen. It's the size of a baby. I mean, it's fucking huge.
It's the size of a gate.
No, it's
Darn.
not.
All right.
Love you.
Well, since this is not the Will of Stein's Gate, then yeah. I do not relieve them of their libations. I'm simply herding cats so that I know where the hell they are in the morning.
Yeah, they happily
I know what to do with drunk GIs, and it's point them at beds.
They happily weave toddle their way. Along the way, Elise, maybe a bit too loudly, shares with you some information. Sergeant, I wanted to tell you, you're really pretty, and thank you for coming and getting us. But we found out important information, didn't we, Nikki? And Nikki looks at you silently, nods, and continues stumbling.
Please, this vital intel that definitely can't wait. I would love to hear a full report.
The water is poisoned with something, and Stu and his people are trying to party away the gloom. And so they only drink stuff that the water's been boiled, which all of the alcohol is. She looks very proud of herself before she falls over. Donald and Brian.
Catch that.
Okay, Donald helps you, and between the two of you, you've got Elise handled.
Got a +3 to my dex. I figure I can catch a drunk. I'll be all right.
Yeah.
A trained soldier, for God's sake.
Poisoned, you say? Great. I want to hear absolutely all about it. Ideally, before we talk to Grant, so we can keep the "I told you so"s to a minimum.
Damn it! The guns came out again.
So apparently, Stu found some scrolls, and she just sort of trails off, kind of staring at the sky for a minute.
Scrolls?
Yeah, he found some scrolls, and they said there was a problem.
And these scrolls elaborate upon the nature of the problem.
I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna get you nice and sober before we continue this conversation. Then come on.
Yeah, and they all follow you back to the building.
Oh my God, ducklings!
Yeah. I just Pied Piper them back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back.
Donald on the way back starts loudly singing.
I don't need to announce myself.
Yeah, and all of you can hear Donald's remarkably on tune, but very inappropriate song before they come in.
He's one of the wild geese. It's neat.
He went bawdy. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, soldier, right? That's kind of the thing.
What else? He knows no other songs.
Ah. She found them.
Oh, that sounds.
Oh, they sound like they had fun.
Hey, drunk?
No one invited me.
Are you saying we haven't been having fun?
Oh, but that's like there's one brand of fun, then there's another brand of fun which involves alcohol, and I haven't gotten a drink since
2 brands of fun.
yesterday. So like,
You seem sturdy enough. I have grain alcohol if you wish.
is it in your junk drawer, or do you have a special booze drawer?
With my tinctures and unguents and other.
You wanted Dinah never to touch your bags. Now you tell her that there's an entire drawer for alcohol.
I didn't say there was an entire drawer for alcohol. It ends up being a very good base for quite a few.
Look at that face. That's the face of someone who heard drawer full of alcohol.
Touch it without permission, and you will die.
But it sounds like you're giving me permission. Does the box explode if I touch it or something? Like I don't.
If it keeps you from touching it, yes, it does.
See, if you're gonna say it that way.
And in pour 4 of the drunkest soldiers you've ever smelled.
Poor the
Uh,
operative term here.
Oh,
mm,
yeah.
as once they all make it inside the threshold, they all find chairs to readily collapse upon.
Yeah. Beds are upstairs, but just as long as you're inside the house when you slip from this mortal coil, that's all I ask of you.
Brian is just moaning.
Perfect. Thank you, Brian. That'll be all.
I wish that was all.
Your fearless leader returns with the small box under her arm, and all right, I've got everybody. Let's do some talking.
They had a fine day. Somehow feel like we've been cheated.
I admit I would
Oh.
much rather get drunk than fight spiders, but I think once they're a bit more sober, we'll probably get a little bit more information out of them. Stu is a local, and I hesitate to say proprietor, but
Okay.
he seems to be running some kind of a pub of sorts. They serve drinks there, and it comes with it an understanding that that's the only potable thing in town. Brian seems to think that Stu. Stu seems to think that the water around here is poisoned with something that causes ennui.
Could you repeat that? I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at something in my bag.
Yes, so as a result, let's be careful about the water. Boiling it would be advised.
Well, we did boil ourselves, so we should.
Yeah, that was hot.
fine, actually.
So,
Yep.
and it was glorious.
If you aren't losing bits of flesh, it wasn't hot enough. And you have
Really?
to. We're going to boil it. It needs to be a rolling boil for a good period of time.
Consuming a no, boiling aside, this Stu fellow thinks that the water is not safe. Yet he operates an inn here. Is this common knowledge? Why would anybody not be drinking and be sloshed to the streets here?
A fine question that we will have to ask others of. It would certainly explain the demeanor of our good friend at the graveyard. All of that being said, my plan had been to bring back our wayward soldiers so that somebody would be able to watch our captive, as that is no longer the case.
Elise raises her arm, falls out of her chair, rolls onto her back, and raises her arm again.
Elise, sweetheart, you are fantastically drunk. What is it?
It's not an inn. It's a party house.
I believe I said pub, which goes to show how fucking drunk you are.
You
And-
can't sleep there. He doesn't let you sleep there. We tried.
Which is why I called it a pub.
But even pubs let you sleep after a while. You drink enough, they leave you alone.
They leave you alone, which is understandable. The rest of us, mere mortals, not so much.
Or
Brothers
Elise,
and I
honey.
were really well known for things.
I don't know. She's going over to Elise and just slightly with a foot kind of nudging her to her side. Not on your back, honey. Not on your back.
Thank you, Cloris.
Elise makes appreciative noises.
Okay. That's great.
That's how Hendrix died. We don't want losing you either.
You're not good enough for that. Don't
I didn't know how to hide.
Well-
I took my cape off.
So instead of finding 4 possible guards, we have found 4 new inmates for
Afraid
the
so.
asylum.
Cloris, I
think
will
they
admit.
just need comfy
hang on.
spots. Trust me.
I just realized I was about to ask you a question about your familiar, but Cloris has been holding every card close to her chest. Do I
You've seen
even
Minerva.
know? Okay, but do I understand the relationship you have with Minerva in terms of that's your bird and your bird can like talk to you in bird things?
Oh, I don't know if we've discussed the conversations with the bird. If you ask about the bird, you'll probably the big fluffy black one or the owl.
Whatever bird you've got that do you talk to any birds? Can you talk to birds? You talk to birds, right?
Yes.
Fabulous.
It-
You think your bird could watch a locked room?
Yeah, but I'm afraid an owl doesn't have a lot of limb strength to roll this one over if they're going to drown in their own Poor choices.
I'm not worried about our regretful cleric situation. I just need somebody to watch the door while we have a little chit chat.
Oh.
Otherwise, you're going to be having it without me.
Oh, yeah, that's not a problem at all. Kind of like awkwardly steps back and then like puts her back to everybody.
I turn away. Like if it looks like Cloris wants privacy, I turn the other direction.
And she's just pulling the face of the owl from her own until a big fluffy owl's in her arms. Hi. Hello. Okay. She turns back with the owl.
No,
What?
I didn't say anything.
Dinah rolls up next to Angelica and just goes, I don't understand. I saw this woman naked, like, I don't know how, like, very shortly ago, and
Why
yet...
were you looking at me
people-
while I was naked?
We
got look.
bathed! What the
Yeah, you focus on yourself.
Speaking of focus, Grant, did you or Dinah, did either of you happen to find a door, a closet, a room, someplace we can just shut this guy up for a second?
We probably would have, while the excursion was happening, took a bit of a
Walk about.
walkabout of the house.
And
Yeah.
anytime you
would've
go to an
wandered.
Airbnb, you have to check all the rooms first.
Yeah.
Dinah would've
Yeah.
wandered.
Oh yeah. You found. So the upstairs is split into 4 rooms, one of which is the bathing room. The other 3 are bedrooms, each of which has 3 single-person beds. So can sleep 9.
Sick. Take him up to one of the rooms and then
How fortuitous of a number.
No.
Cloris 9.
Innistrad's brought to you by
Of course,
number
yes,
9.
If you don't mind having your owl just stand watch for us.
Okay, yeah, whatever room we decide to leave you in, she gestures over to Edmund. I'll have Minerva keep an eye.
Good.
Makes sense.
Lock him up in whatever room we have and put the bird inside.
Okay, yeah.
Fine. Edmund doesn't fuss. He actually, he walks over to one of the beds, sits on it, and lies down on it,
Yeah.
and is almost immediately asleep.
Good.
Like his feet are still on the floor. Like he's just.
Oh, been there, man.
Oh no! Oh, buddy! It said,
Oh,
it's like in a cocoon, then had a shower, then had a meal, and you're just dead.
Yep.
Dies happy.
I fear with demons like his, he will find no rest in sleep, but having him unconscious simplifies things considerably. So, back downstairs, somewhere maybe next to a fire, the 4 of us gathered.
No, starting a fire is a
Let's
very
talk.
easy prospect.
Yeah.
So we have 2 options. He is very much not a simple soul. There's something in him. He either is possessed actively, and we are talking with a very, very talented trickster, or he's being used like a carriage as a passenger. Regardless, the solutions are clear. Bind or destroy.
You're very convinced that there's some other entity within, right?
Yes,
That seems that.
very much so.
Is there no way to separate that?
His story of infiltrating a cult of Withengar, I believe I'm saying it right.
Yes.
Sure.
I saw the nod. I saw the nod.
His story of infiltrating the cult of Withengar could very well just be an excuse for being part of the cult of Withengar. I don't trust those who bind themselves to demon signs. And on
Assuming
top
he
of
did it
that, I was
willingly.
able to look inside of him and see something very disturbing.
I don't question the reality of what you're claiming. I'm just wondering what the actual options are for dealing with it. You say,
Destroy or bind.
yes, so is there no way to destroy
You're
what
speaking of an
binds him
exorcism,
to
and
this?
such things can be done. Such things have been done. They're tricky and dangerous. And not pleasant.
And
They are possible.
technically part of my second option. Because binding would make it available for us if we at a later time would give the benefit of the doubt and maybe allow us to attempt such an act. But for now, we have a job to do, and such an unknown quantity, an unknown element is not something that we need right now. My vote is to destroy. It would be saving him from a fate if he is innocent. If not, I'm proven, well, effective.
What do you think, Loris?
I'm afraid we'll have to have a differentiating opinion in this. I don't know if this warrants death just yet. I don't want to carry this soul around with us in the stench of the sewers without a doubt. I wouldn't want to carry around a normal person having to worry about that. But are you saying there is no way to either make it so that they can safely be stored somewhere?
Oh, I
Or-
could figure something out for that if necessary, but I would say that it would take more resources and time than we have to offer. So I would say destroy for the safest and most effective method.
But you have no idea whether or not he's saying the truth or
I
not.
have more of an idea simply because of what he wears, what he is marked with, and what lies within him. So I don't operate on just assumptions and guesses. I am talking about actual knowledge here. What I don't know is intent. That's what I base my decision on.
What about you, Dinah? Thoughts?
Dinah's been kind of off to the side, like listening. And just seems to be a little, there's like almost like a darker aura around her. Just kind of. Whenever someone gets bound or taken over by something, it doesn't mean that they wanted that to happen.
My rebut to that would be the cult symbol of the demon that he bears on his neck. Those are not thrown on as punishment. Those are taken voluntarily.
He did choose. If he is being truthful, he has said that he made a choice. The intentions of what it was, that's uncertain. We do not know if he chose that for good or worse. What he was saying is that he wanted to use this power to fell something worse. We have no way of knowing. But we could also see, do they feel remorseful about what they did? Because there is no point to removing them from this if they're just going to run back tomorrow and make the same deal again.
Ed, he did this. He took a choice to infiltrate. He didn't take a choice to be permanently bound to anything.
Actually,
But he was doing that to learn a weakness of those exact things that did it.
If he did that for that reason.
And that's a thing that happens. That is a thing people will do. learn the weakness of the thing you are trying to take down by getting closer. Angelica said the word exorcism, and that's a word I can get behind right now.
There's an old saying within the Inquisition that, and there are many things within the Inquisition that I don't wish to return to, but in this case, I think it very much applies that an open mind is a fortress with its gates left open and unbarred.
And unguarded, yeah. Angelica stands up.
You piece of shit.
It worked.
Worked. I knew what it was.
Does. It super does.
I will not bleh. I will not fuck. Commit? No, that's the wrong word. Condemn is the word I was looking for. Let's try this again as a paladin with a good charisma score who doesn't fuck up her lines.
Aw,
You got this.
I feel you
No,
so
take
hard.
it from the top.
Okay.
Take it from the top. Go ahead.
We brought this. I'll go back to my mark. Okay.
Well, edit it out.
Yeah. Well, I'll just cut this.
Speed.
Gate.
And we're rolling.
Okay. All right.
I will not condemn a man to death who has committed no crime before my eyes. We're not killing him. But if we need more information from him, which I am still with Grant on, I don't know how much we can trust him, and I don't know that we can believe his words, I can get the truth from him. And I know how, let's say, brutal that sounds, but I'll need no forceps or iron pokers. I simply need time and a conversation with him. And I will get from him whatever truth I can get.
Anne's not even anywhere near home, he said.
He could also be out of his mind.
He just mumbled to
It's
himself.
also
But
entirely possible.
Also, someone who is very convinced of their own truth will appear to be speaking it. The most potent
go
lie
check
is
how
the
that
lie
spell
one tells
works.
oneself.
We would still be able to garner intent then, even if that's what they believe at the end of the day, right?
Yes. Which would lead to binding.
Dinah very specifically looks at Angelica and goes, "How would you get the truth out of him?"
Power of faith. I would borrow the blessings of Avacyn and essentially let him speak his soul. I would cast a zone of truth.
You say.
I know of some of the words you're speaking of. Avacyn gave us many tricks.
Yeah, I know the trick. I don't, but I've seen it back home.
Noting the use of the word trick as opposed to blessing. Noting.
I use one, Grant uses another. I didn't correct him.
Pressing.
So I would find that amenable. It still only pushes me in the direction of binding. I will stress yet again, there is something powerful attached to his soul in such a way that it is almost indiscernible from his. And I've never
As such,
seen...
I wonder if in fact it is his soul.
Which is
This is a
even the
potentiality
more
we have to consider.
concerning at that point. This is nothing I've ever seen before, and I've seen a lot.
I don't question your breadth of expertise, Grant.
If
And
we
I-
were to
Understand the caution.
find them long enough for us to get some more information about what's going on, what was tried to be sealed, failed, below the town, right? We can always come back, speak with this, or kill them later.
Let me go into my pack.
If we try and kill something if we try and kill something and we do not know the nature of it, The way we go about doing so may be inefficient. It may cause further trouble. It may release further trouble. That sounds terrible, and I don't like it. Magic Mouth, along with Mage Hand, sounds like a party Cloris would blush at.
I don't remember that spell off the top of my head. That's why I was like, why do I have that?
Yeah, I don't. I've never heard.
No, keep going. Like I said,
rummaging.
He's rummaging through his pack, seeing what he has available.
This is rapidly becoming a problem beyond our pay grade and certainly outside the scope of our mission. We've done most of what we set out here to do. We definitely need to keep investigating whatever's going on in the sewers, as that represents not simply a threat to the town, but to things that are alive. And as one of such things, I would really rather do something about the broken demon seal full of spiders. Is it sometime tomorrow, or is it sometime the day after that they're supposed to be arriving here when we set out ahead of the rest of the...
It was a little uncertain. It was based on whenever the drowned rats get back. So the sometime between tomorrow and the next day.
Sure. All right. Well, provided we can keep them sober, we have 4 other people who can keep an eye on him while we continue our investigations. And then once Captain checks notes...
Padar?
Padar! Once Captain Padar gets here, we can also... This is me starting to speak in character towards, like, I don't know what kind of expertise we have on this sorts of things elsewhere in the company, so maybe Captain Padar could point us at some more information, or otherwise...
perhaps, would be
a specialist,
more
thank you,
this.
exactly. Yeah.
Honestly, in these types of natures, I would default to your opinion, Grant, so I'm not dismissing them out of hand. Understand. It's just I hesitate to kill outright when it could be an asset at a later time as well.
He's also a person who is alive. More so than an asset.
Efficiency really cannot apply when it comes to actual lives.
It very much can. But that will have to be something we disagree on. Fine, we bind him then.
For now, at least. Until we have more answers.
Is there anything we can do to help you?
No, I just need time and a smithy.
Well, any town should have.
Tomorrow, give me 2 hours and enough gold to purchase the iron, and I'm fairly sure I'll be able to make sure that, he'll stay wherever we put him for extended periods of time.
What are you planning to do, Grant? As I sit back down. Taking a very casual, like, her demeanor falls from the, like, I'm in charge, military burr, to just like, Grant, what are you talking about?
There was a questioning vessel that I used occasionally that does very good with making sure somebody won't move. A full-size person version of the manacles I made for him, essentially.
You're going to put him into a box?
It's more sarcophagus-shaped. Little.
You're not, no, Grant, no.
It's colloquially known as an Iron Maiden.
Nope.
Yeah, we're not doing that. That's not a, no,
Well,
it ensures he is bound. This is what we are attempting to do.
I am not putting a living creature inside of a coffin,
We
Grant.
assign an attendant.
It's not
to their needs.
It's not a coffin. There are
daggers
that stick out from the inside that ensure that they don't move.
No.
We're already at daggers and
we're
pointing
done.
things at the man in a box, and I'm not about it. Just
You're not,
make the man something that just shuts down magic or some shit.
We could just, we have a room with a sturdy door and 4 soldiers trained by the errant wing. If this does not suffice, then Avison save us. But otherwise, I just hit my desk and it hurts like quite a great deal. I'm very tired. I have killed a lot of spiders today and tramped through a lot of shit. And while the bath we had was, though poisonous apparently, quite refreshing, Grant, we're not putting him in a spike box. I thought you left the Well, then most of the time when you've got the up the wall and it shoots, that's fantastic. But this, I have to draw a line here. You're not putting him in a box. We'll just keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I love
He's
my
already
new
got the
shoes.
fingy things.
Don't like dagger box.
Oh, those shoes aren't going to work again, by the way.
Oh, really? You sure?
Try it now.
So one and done? You're just a one-trick
Dinosaurs
pony?
tries to climb up the wall.
I would have to retool them.
Does it anyway. Just like
Explorers hold. Yeah, this is. You should. They should work definitely. Do it. No, I believe in you.
Just with full confidence, just walks up to the wall and just tries to walk.
Nope,
Dinah,
that's not going to
You
slam.
are temporarily afflicted by the prone condition.
Oh.
Yes, as I said.
Oh. Ow.
All right, listen.
Thank you.
Cracked part of my back, though. That was nice. Oh.
I
Use half my movement to get up.
going to take my stuff. As I pick up the box. I'm going to go upstairs, and I'm going to go do what our guest has already decided to partake of, and enjoy the not blessed sleep.
I need to...
Suggest you all get some rest in your own time.
I'll take first watch then. I know we're in a home, but I still would prefer at least one of us be awake at all times, so I'll wake somebody up in 2 hours.
Well, you do have the company of Minerva. You could actually sleep. They could wake me. Or anybody, really.
I'll set an alarm on the door. And I'll wait.
Just to wake you up.
As you see
That's
fit
what it will.
to make yourself feel safe, Grant. Everyone, evening. And I head upstairs and into the room where our nice friend Edmund is sleeping. And I just fucking pass out in there.
When you get into the room, Edmund at some point did crawl the rest of the way onto the bed, and is curled into a fairly tight fetal ball, fully clothed on top of the covers.
But
yeah,
washed,
I
you're
will
fine.
grab one of the other blankets, put it on top of him, and then go to bed.
He snuggles in the under the blanket when you do that.
Okay. Honey. I very much hope I do not have to kill you. I very much hope you do not kill all of us. Oh, Avison, I hope a lot of things.
Yep. So does everyone else go to sleep except for Grant?
Yeah, Dinah probably goes in the same room as Angelica and bed.
Bed good.
Goes in and kind of gets comfortable. And for half a second she starts humming and then stops. Kind of remembering where she is and there's people in the room and she probably shouldn't do that.
Your terrible hotel fucking roomie.
Because she knows that no one else is going to join her in the hum. It's not
I think you actually get just from inside, from muffled in a pillow. Please don't.
Yeah. I forgot.
Thank you. It's okay.
She just takes
Please don't.
the wrap weapons just are with her. At the side of the bed, on the wall. And she just kind of does a light little rap on them with her knuckle and just goes, "Night," and lies down.
Assuredly, there are 9 beds in which I will have a room for myself away from you two. Love you dearly, but sometimes you need alone time. And she'll make her way to one of the rooms that have yet to be occupied.
I was gonna say, everybody else is passed out downstairs. You've got the run of the place up there. Go nuts.
Yeah, it's so much quieter than the camp too. So she may actually get sleep. So she'll find whatever room that has a window, throw open the shutters to it, and then find her way to sleep as well.
Grant takes his time walking around the perimeter of the home,
Oh,
laying down an alarm, Takes him like 11 minutes. Specifically. Before he goes back inside, finds a chair with a tall back, sits down in the chair, and lays his pistol across his lap.
Oh my god.
And settles in.
Oh, Grunkle Grant.
Um,
You do care.
as you are doing that,
Wait,
both
I have one detail I have to know. Is there still a light, or did you douse all the lights and you're just sitting in the dark?
Sitting in the darkness.
I have to know.
It's just
Oh.
embers in the fireplace.
Thank you. That's what I needed to know.
while
Jesus.
while you were doing that, Brian, Elise, and Nikki all managed to like stir enough to crawl up the stairs, and so they're all in one room. Donald does not wake up. He's snoring very,
He's
very
dead.
loudly. He's
Oh.
snoring very, very loudly.
A good diversion
About-
if somebody breaks in.
Yeah,
They'll look
about
to the snoring one first.
about 10 feet away from where Grant settles in for the night.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, buddy.
Oh.
Okay, keeps him sharp.
Oh, God.
Keeps him grumbling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just have this image of Grant, like his eye just slightly twitching
Yeah.
every time Donald snores.
I never thought I'd say this, but poor Grant.
Nah,
Another
nah,
quote I gotta get
not-
written down.
not
He-
poor Grant.
He tries to sleep, but he has he does have the other little detail is that he has taken the box that folds out into the turret and placed it on the ground next to him in the where the chair is, and gives it a little pat.
Oh.
Sure.
Oh.
Okay. So everything is chill and calm, and 2-ish hours pass. Is Grant still awake, or does Grant wake up and try to wake someone else, or does the evening continue?
Grant is
Do you dare wake up, Dido?
I'm rolling for myself to decide something.
Oh, sure.
Okay, we're gonna go with that then.
Oh boy.
He does fall asleep in the chair without waking anybody else up.
Oh.
Totally fair.
Buddy, you had a long day.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, none of your alarms go off to wake you. It is an uneventful evening. You all wake up. Well, the four of you all wake up in the morning. Your your other crewmates, I suppose it's wakefulness
Oh.
that they all manage, but they're all in some amount of extraordinarily hungover, except for Donald, who is bright and happy and couldn't be better.
I'd say drink water, but
Is he from Stencia? I feel like the Stencia booze is probably very hearty.
God.
Brought up on that.
Edmund wakes up just fine. He actually, he wakes up. He doesn't say anything really, though. He's extremely quiet. He just like looks around. He's not mumbling or anything like that. He's just passive.
All right. Well. So, plan for the day here. I don't know that we necessarily need to like have a whole roleplay scene for it or anything, but like I would like to go ahead and do the last little bit of like what we were sent here to do in terms of, hey, your walls suck, so here's how you can make them suck less. Which I know is like we need to pass that along to the town elder lady. Other than that, my only thought is to cast Purify Food and Drink and then go back down into this. Go not back into the sewers. Talk to Donald.
Oh, you have Purify Food and Drink as well?
Thomason. Yeah, I'm a paladin.
That's right. That is a paladin spell.
Elder Thomason's
That's a
also the
paladin
record
spell.
keeper, right?
Well, if you want to do
so
it,
maybe
then
the
I'll
scrolls that they
reserve my
mentioned
shit
in
for
the
something else.
tavern could be connected to.
That's the thing is, I figure
maybe.
I don't know.
They would have to keep records somewhere.
It's one of those things where I don't know where our spell points are better spent because I don't know what kind of cool spells you got besides
Also, for what it's worth,
cool turret.
in part because of the way that Purify Food and Drink functions, I'm fine with you having purified food and drink the night before.
I didn't have the spell ready.
Well, whatever. But I'm saying, like, for example, if Grant had it, maybe, or whatever, if you purified food and drink the night before and then slept, you would get the point back if that was an option for either of you.
Purify Food and Drink really feels like one of those spells that should be a ritual and
Yeah.
isn't.
Like someone fucking saying grace.
Or like a cantrip.
I actually thought it was a ritual.
It's not.
It's not.
Weird.
It's fucking weird.
I'm fine.
I mean, I can't
with-
ritual cast either way, but
Goodberry offers
I'm fine with
nourishment.
just house ruling right now that Purify Food and Drink is a ritual castable spell.
That's
Cool.
Yeah.
I will add that to my.
Making and
and I'll prepare something else.
That's. I have to go through
Ceremony.
my preps. 1, 2, 3.
So
I think-
before Grant goes to
Yeah.
sleep and readies his territory all paranoid like, first he makes a beautiful continental breakfast.
Oh my god.
Oh, the mini muffins! I fucking love these.
I was hoping for a bagel.
Oh, there's one over here. Cinnamon raisin, though. How do you feel?
Oh god, I don't know. Damn it, I don't know what to take now. I hate this
Well,
part.
now
I
here
hate
we
it.
go. This
There,
person
boom,
in
bless.
chat is saying that it is a ritual. So
Huh.
Well, at that
Maybe
point,
it's
I'll
just
just
not a
Off of
ritual
the
for.
thing.
I don't know. I went with a list, so
Okay,
certain
well,
spells are
yeah,
rituals
well-
for certain classes and not for others. I think maybe.
I'll check D&D Beyond. Yeah, D&D Beyond says Purify Food and Drink is castable as a ritual. Like, yeah, like
Yeah,
certainly
that's
I
what I
can't
thought.
cast as a ritual because I'm a paladin. Paladins don't get
Okay.
ritual casting.
I guess I just
but
forgot to add it
you-
in. I apologize. Sorry to.
No, cool.
So my house rule was correct.
Yeah.
Oh, Zed in the house. In the house. In the big old house. It's a house.
Paladins
house
can't
rule.
ritually
Ho, ho.
cast.
And we all teleported to Stu's
Yep.
and didn't know.
Artificers
No,
can
no.
though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you can
Means
you
you're-
can cast the fucking thing. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Ritualize that shit.
All right.
So in any event, yes, we can purify our food and drink. That's cool. Grant's got that under control. I will not prep that spell thing because there ain't no reason for me to never do that. Then.
Shit.
Good shit.
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
I'll be right back.
Sure.
Um, so, well, no, I guess we kind of do need Grant for
Well,
either of those. So whatever you want to do is fine by me. Let me know what you want to do.
so there's a third thing on top of we got to talk. Sorry, we have to talk to. There's 3 things we have to do. We need to talk to the nice lady about her shitty walls. We need to talk to the shitty man about his nice lore. All right, I also have Zone of Truth available now, so I can have a sit down with our good friend at any point as well, and Zone of Truth his ass and see if that gets us anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's really just a matter of what order we want to do that crap in.
I wouldn't mind having a chat
Why?
over morning coffee.
That's my inclination as well. Is to just start the show with the showstopper. So, food happens, gets purified, I'm sure. I entice my 4 idiots to drink some of the water that I swear it's safe. It's fine. Grant made it safe. You don't trust Grant? Look at Grant's face. This is a trustworthy face. Grant, show me trustworthy. See? Thank you.
They'll drink the water, no problem. They have no problem. Yeah.
You need to hydrate.
They're happy to drink Grant's water. To imbibe Grant's fluids.
Oh no!
And now I need to look at how spell work. Right, this damn D&D. DMD just... Okay, so 15-foot radius. Fantabulous.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you want to do? This? You want to set this up in the kitchen? Should we set up some kind of...
It's a 15-foot radius. It's not an especially big building. You'll catch easily, the entire dining area and most of the living room and kitchen.
Then yeah, I set up some food, which I will help him eat. But beforehand, I walk the room and mutter a small prayer. And actually, I don't think that she would do that much. Actually, she would just walk the room and then kind of pull out the chair, sit down, and is there anybody who does or doesn't want to be part of this conversation before we get started?
The four of your other lamplighters the three of them who are quite hungover, they put up no resistance. Donald is whistling a happy tune to himself.
Oh, good. Donald, you seem like you're not very busy right now. Go feed my horse. Thank you.
I apologize, Sarge, but that's not my fucking job. There's a stable boy for that. I am a trained killer. So if you got something for me to go smash, I'm happy to do that, but I'm not your bitch. Donald woke up sassy today.
Check out my horse,
Woke up
and
with
that's
some
a
pep in his
fucking
step.
order.
The vim and vigor of this man.
All right, absolutely, Sarge. I will follow your direct order to check on your horse. And Donald grabs an extra apple from the breakfast area, takes a humongous bite out of it, and marches his way out the door, grabbing his absurdly large halberd on the way.
Thank you, Donald.
Yep.
Jesus.
Well, it's always nice to know that it still says sergeant on my uniform somewhere. Okay. I cast Zone of Truth. I believe he gets a save.
Yeah, but he won't.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Well,
Does it
this-
just happen automatically or anything?
D&D doesn't really have an option, as far as I'm aware, to relent to a test, but he effectively does. He puts up no resistance.
Okay. Well,
You can choose to fail.
Yeah, I think on Zone of Truth you can choose to fail, right?
Yeah.
And if you can't, you can anyway.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. For the
Yeah.
purposes
You know
of this scene,
Yeah.
It happens.
it happened. Wait. Roll a die. I was gonna say for the DMs, just roll the die and just say, "Oh, you failed." Look at that.
I rolled for the DM. It came up a 1. It's amazing.
There you go.
Mhm.
So
Incredible.
Grant will post up in the room. He's working on. He's prepping his turret for the day. He has to swap out its tubes,
Souls.
its canisters, which are
Souls still
filled,
burn.
with. He literally has Geist Flame canisters that he
they
has to.
make sort of faint moaning noises as you jostle them. Sort of an ooh, ooh.
It's like a rain stick of ghost.
Yeah, that's how he's spending his time watching this go down. His weird lament configuration looking cannon that he is swapping out the ammo in.
So,
I'm up there.
You're not
I
there.
want to.
I got it.
Doris is actually walking past. Are you not there? They're going to.
Hmm?
Are you going to stay down here?
If you have walked into the diner just waking up,
Yeah.
half her makeup's on the pillow.
Oh,
Like all this stuff
God.
is usually on her face to make her look like it's just and
Oh,
on
your freckles.
Quick note: time check must move.
And she's just like, are they doing the thing?
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Oh, shit. All right,
Bring
I'll
it
grab.
with you.
All right.
I'll hold the plate. Come on.
Thank you.
Going this way now.
So we just want to start by confirming a couple of things. Last night was a lot, so just real quick baseline. What was your name again?
Edmund Rackley.
Okay, now for the player, is that Ratley?
Rackley.
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 Rackley. Thank you. Sorry. Edmund Rackley. And you're where are you from, Edmund? Where's your home?
I'm from the lower court of the gods. First quarter. Ravnica.
Straight up
Ravnica.
Ravnica.
Okay. Ah. And why is it again that you bound yourself in service to this demon? Checks notes, has forgotten name.
Withengar.
Withengar. Thank you. Sorry. Why was it again that you bound yourself in service to Withengar?
The Church of Orzhov put a bounty on cultists that were horning in on their business. I specialized in removing demons and demonically aligned creatures from homes, people, animals, what have you. The demons often involve themselves in petty crime, bartering, usury, all sorts of things that the church has its own territory and prefers that no one else horn in on it. So, needing the money, I made my way to where the cultists were and pretended to be an interested party.
What is your... Perhaps I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. How is it you came to be in the sewers beneath this town?
I don't really know.
Okay.
I had just gone through some kind of binding ritual involving flame and branding, and the amulet that I wear was burning its way into my flesh, and some time passed, evidently, and I was where you found me.
All right. What are your intentions here?
Well, looks as if you have demons. So, my intentions remain as they are, to destroy them where I find them.
How do you destroy demons?
It depends on the demon. Their physical forms can be dissolved for a time, but they will eventually reform. You have to...
No, I apologies. I should be a bit more specific. By what means? By what manner of... I, for example, have a sword. I find it works very well for killing things. But you in demons, how do you work your demon slaying trade?
I use magic. I cast harmful spells upon my enemies, and I melt them where they stand.
I shoot Grant a look that means thank you. So, then. All right, Fox the player is run low on questions. Anything else we want to know out of this guy specifically? Since his story he at least believes in and checks out. So what do we want to know about his capabilities and intentions?
Grant looks up after locking in one of the tubes with a little. What's wrong with your soul?
I've been trying to figure that out. I don't know. I think it may have something to do with how I ended up here. You've not heard of the grand city of Ravnica, I assume?
The only grand city that we have is Thraben.
How many souls there, would you say?
Oh god, it's like, is it even 10,000? I'm asking out of character because I know it's small.
Yeah, like it's Thraben is small for like modern, city standards, but like
right, it's
big
for
there.
Innistrad.
Yeah, I mean,
but,
like 15, 20,000 even.
Yeah, it's like 20,000 souls, maybe 25,000. Depends on the year, I suppose, and how dangerous things have gotten in the Elven World.
I come from a place that houses millions, billions within its borders.
A single city.
Yes.
How do you
An
deal with that many
endless
people?
city. From horizon to horizon.
Millions upon millions of humans.
And goblins, centaurs, elves, dwarves.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this blight on your soul, or mark, I should say, blight. Excuse me. We don't understand the nature of it ourselves. This mark on your soul, does that predate your lost time in the sewers?
No.
So you were infiltrating the cult. Then the next thing you remember was some flames, the branding with the amulet, and then nothing until you were awoken from a cocoon.
A lot of pain, darkness. In between the pain and darkness, there was a sensation of movement, of falling.
Tell me, do you feel the pull of the demon's command upon you now, as we speak?
No.
Do you hear it? Does it speak to you?
No.
Have you ever seen it?
Withengar?
Yeah.
No, not directly.
Is there anything more that Grant would know about Withengar in particular?
Give me a history check.
Okay.
You've made some pretty great ones previously. Here's to hoping you do it again.
Great, no thanks.
Mind if I reroll?
Please do. Go ahead, whatever you got. No
By
thanks.
all means.
Please.
Yeah, that's much better. 26.
No
Ooh,
double
yeah,
thanks.
there we go.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So 19.
Withengar predates and is possibly more powerful than Grizzlebrand.
Jesus.
Oh. Timeline question, because I know we're deviating from it. Grizzlebrand, has Liliana been to Innistrad yet?
Yeah, because
Yes.
we are
Yes.
post the breaking of the Hell Vault, so she's been
Yep.
here.
Yes.
So Grizzlebrand's fate is known or not known?
Not widely known.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
But we
not
know
like,
of Grizzlebrand.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Withengar.
Him with him rock.
Withengar has
Angel with
shown
him.
up in the lore a number of times. Typically enslaves whole like nations, but has every time historically that he's found a physical form has eventually been either destroyed by the concentrated efforts of a large number of people, or else bound into one of a few different objects. The most recent one that you can recall was a sort of a ritual dagger about a foot and a half long, that is curved with a few extra points on it. For anyone who wants to know what the fuck this looks like, go to Scryfall and look up Binding Blade of Elbrus.
And one further clarification: is there like a? So he's a demon.
Mm-hmm.
Demons tend to have ways. So like, Rakdos, Grizzlebrand, and Withengar all have different ways that they do their shtick. Is he known for? Is Withengar known as for trickery or cruelty or like any of those aspects? Any of them leaning in the lore?
Is he really Tybalt?
No. Withengar is known for unbound atrocity, violence, and war are his hallmarks.
How corny.
I literally just wrote corn in my notes for my shorthand. I was like, all right.
Hey, use what you know for shorthand.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a fun present for like future Cassandra in like 2 months. The fuck does corn mean?
Fuck the corn's. That's how Zinchian. My notes are fairly mysterious.
All good notes are, honestly.
The worst is going
Depends
back
on
to a
what's fucking
game
into
from
something.
another season that you haven't looked at for like a year.
Okay. Then, okay. So you hear no word. You feel no pull. And you say that it was during your initiation in this place known as Ravnica that you felt it burn into your flesh and then fall and then end up here.
Yes.
What was the intent of this cult of Withengar then?
What was the cult's intent?
Yes.
To raise their master into physical form. They were, so far as I could tell, engaging in fundraising activity, you could say, with the intent of purchasing the materials necessary to craft a vessel capable of summoning him.
Mm-hmm.
You said this was your specialty, ridding people of things. You have no idea what happened or how to remove that mark?
This particular spell, whatever it is, I haven't had enough time to examine it. I went from having it attached to me to waking up where you found me. You've known of its existence almost as long as I have.
But no one's ever had it happen to them. We've never heard of this happening to anyone else.
Like this? No. This is new. To me, anyway.
Well then. I do believe we have exhausted what we can learn from him at this moment. Maybe in the future
You wish us harm.
Oh.
What?
Do you wish us harm?
No.
In any capacity. To kill us, to prevent us, to stop us, to summon
No.
demons at us.
You seem to be, frankly, aligned with my point of view in general. That, and he motions with both hands. That one in particular is quite skilled. He would probably have been in my same line of work where I'm from.
He is quite fantastically good at his job.
I have a question. Have you ever hurt anyone that you cared about? And I mean physically. Like with that... whatever you do to hunt down anything.
Physically, no. Spiritually, emotionally.
Oh.
I've driven away almost anyone who would ever have cared for me with my fervor.
Okay. That was a really important question that I had for myself. So, you guys don't have anything else?
Would you be willing to work? Would you be willing to work with us?
If an offer were made to do so, yes, of course.
I'm making an offer.
Feel as though we
I
should
hear you, Grant.
discuss this first.
Yes. I want to
would
hear what the
not-
man has to say first.
I would not wish to cause any strife amongst your crew, but
Hello.
I would, of course, happily join your cause for as long as you would have me.
Well, I'm satisfied with these answers. If anyone has any other questions.
What are the capabilities of the magic that you know? What are your specialties? What is your range of expertise? If you would join us, I would know what it is you do.
Did you learn it? Did you read?
Yeah.
A lot?
I have a better one. Yeah. What's your source?
My source?
Of your power.
Oh, he never heard of Addison, right?
Your...
If you can do magics, I want to know who taught you.
Well, I don't know if it will still work here, as I seem to be quite far from home, but I am indebted to the Obzedat, the undead ghost council of the Church of Orzhov.
Sounds an awful lot like Ghost Flame to me.
Oh, that's a very different sounding thing. We'll discuss.
I was born to debt. My parents owed the church more than they could ever pay in a lifetime.
All right. Anything else? She says over here, far from the notes.
Okay, I can't read it either. They get notes. That's it.
I actually know how to spell Obzedat, so I was sharing.
Yeah.
I keep hearing Orzhov, which is very close to Zoloft, and then I go, wait.
That's to make sure Grant don't punch nobody.
That's what's in that drawer. You don't go in that drawer very often.
So,
Clearly.
Edmund is about to speak when from outside you hear loud horns from a distance.
Oh my god. Excellent.
fantastic.
Is there a window?
Yeah.
Dinah does that Disney movie thing where she runs to the window and like opens it and like leans out. The fuck is that?
Fantastic.
Disney.
If it is
You
another
see
child, I swear.
a volley of flaming arrows flying over the city wall, landing in the courtyard.
Shite.
And in the center of the volley is one non-flaming arrow that is carrying on the back end of it, near the fletching, a small message pouch.
What the shite is that?
Up from the table,
Ugh.
hat on, looking out. What the hell's going on?
Flaming arrows?
What?
Lots of them?
Chloris also.
We are getting paid, I guess. Stands up.
I am rounding up the rest of the fucking troops.
The rest of the troops.
Everybody up?
So they're all badly hungover, and yet they all get up and grab their shit, and they are out and ready. Donald is running from the stables. You can see him, but he's got a ways to go. No further volleys of arrows are fired. So
Since the
one
window-
volley.
Since the window is open,
I go to the note.
Yeah, Chloris is actually going to reach out to Minerva, which is probably still in the room near. I need you to go out, stay very, very high up, but tell me what the landscape looks like. Are there any forces about? Give me a rough idea of number, and then come back.
Smart.
And
Okay.
send them out the window.
I will handle Minerva first. Minerva goes up, circles, comes back, and lets you know that she has seen what looks to be 60 skeletal creatures wearing armor, carrying bows and swords, running away from the town into the woods, into the swamp. Sorry.
Cool and good.
The note. And let me. Okay. Congratulations. You have the honor. You have the honor of being targeted for annexation by the great and beneficent Ingo Bolt. Please surrender, lay down your arms, and open your doors, for your new master is coming home.
Huh. Well, good news, Edmund. You're not the biggest problem on our doorstep anymore.
Oh, well. Happy day, I suppose. And that's where we're going to call it for today.
So Iron Maiden's off the table.
No, we're not putting the
Yes!
nice man into a box full of knives. That's not a
Mini
thing.
muffin.
No.
As Minerva is flying back to Chloris, she reports two other things. She can see in the swamp a number of what look like bonfires burning. These are not simple cooking fires. These are much, much larger. And just past, just on the horizon, she can see the banner of the Errant Wing mercenary company cresting the hill towards the town. And so, with all of these thingies said, and with all of these thingies done, and just generally with all of these thingies, we love you very much, and remember always to stay evil.
Great.